I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 2. Deadly forces have brought these two teams together to battle one another for dominance. What'll happen next? Let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Okay then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, the Suicide Squad and the Justice League continue to duke it out on an island nation. Now, you'll remember in the previous issue I said how this battle seemed ridiculously one-sided in favor of the Justice League. Well, thankfully the writer and by extension Deadshot feel exactly the same way, because the great idea that the Suicide Squad has is basically, hey, let's split up. We certainly can't fight the League together. They're a way better team than we are, but maybe one-on-one we can get lucky. This leads to several actually very interesting little vignettes where we get to see the heroes fight each other one-on-one. Superman has to deal with the power of the Enchantress, which doesn't go so well for him because magic is one of the few things that can hurt him. Also, Enchantress plays on Superman's innate good guy nature by trying to make him think that he can reach out to Dr. June Moon only to get smacked upside the head for all his trouble. El Diablo, who ever since his appearance in the Suicide Squad movie has seemed to have had his powers supercharged, takes on not one but two Green Lanterns with a giant fire dragon. All the while, he's just a little upset that they sent the rookie members of the League after him. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, Williamson actually doesn't write either Justice League or Suicide Squad, he writes Flash, so it's only right one of the best exchanges actually happens between the Flash and Digger Harkness, aka Captain Boomerang, who has been pretty much absent from the Flash book ever since they needed him to be a full-time Suicide Squad member. Flash pretty much runs Digger down completely, saying how much he sucks, and saying that the Rogues are actually better off without him because he was always the weak link. Ouch, what a burn. Now, in the previous video, you'll remember I complained about Wonder Woman fighting Harley Quinn also being incredibly one-sided, but once again, to my pleasant surprise, the writer actually managed to mess with my expectations. Harley does little fighting at all. She runs away and tries to use confusion and misdirection to battle Wonder Woman, and in a nice bit of continuity, the writer actually remembers that Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn left each other on really good terms as friends in the last issue of Harley's Little Black Book, so it's fun to see that referenced here and now. Even Deadshot manages to get in some good verbal licks against Batman, and I mean, really, what else could he get in? Not physical ones, that's for sure. He says, oh sure, we might be a group of gypsies, tramps, and thieves over here on the Suicide Squad, but we've done a lot of good work that you Leaguers would know nothing about. We make the hard choices and do the dirty jobs you guys could never get done. Cut us a little slack, maybe. Now, while all this is going on, there's still the matter of Maxwell Lord and his newly assembled team of supervillains. They all have a bone to pick with Amanda Waller for locking them away, but here's an interesting fact that ties all these characters together. They all seem to be aware that the world was altered. Yeah, that's right. Justice League vs. Suicide Squad actually has direct tie-ins and references to freaking DC Rebirth. Yeah. In fact, Maxwell Lord goes out of his way to reference a pre-existing relationship with the Justice League, which he had in the old universe right next to his powers to mentally manipulate people, which he didn't have when he showed up in Grayson. Furthermore, the bone he wants to pick with Amanda Waller seems to be over the fact that his organization, Checkmate, isn't as powerful as they once were in the old universe. Now, back over on the island, things take a rather strange turn as Killer Frost and Killer Croc end up being the last two members of the squad standing. This is bad because they really have no other option but to run, but they won't get far. Waller will just as easily blow up their heads so she won't have to deal with the backlash or oncoming scandal. She'll just disavow all knowledge. But then, Superman ends up falling from the sky after taking a magical hit. He's out cold, which means Killer Frost is able to use her power to absorb people's bioenergy to pretty much get a Kryptonian upgrade. This power-up is brief and fleeting, but through sheer dumb luck, Killer Frost actually manages to freeze over the entire Justice League. This means Waller and the rest of her cronies are actually able to box up the Justice League and imprison them. Now, you would think the Wall might take this opportunity to kill the League, as no villain has ever before been able to accomplish. Oh, but Waller is a smart woman. Why kill the League when she could turn them into her ultimate weapon? You see, we got all these fancy bombs we can shoot into to your neck. Welcome to the Suicide Squad, Justice League. So, I'm not gonna lie, when Justice League vs. Suicide Squad started, I really did think this was just going to be another fun, but ultimately dumb little distraction of an event, and yet to my surprise, there are a lot of really good, really interesting ideas being played with here. Joshua Williamson clearly has a great attention to detail too, as there's a number of really great continuity tidbits that are peppered all throughout this issue. Then there's the Maxwell Lord stuff, which just became 100 times more interesting now that it might actually tie into the bigger events going on in the DC universe right now. Overall, I like this one way more than I did the first one. Overall, I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10, and I am genuinely excited to see where this goes now.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.